If you are frustrated with your garden right now, if you've ever looked at a struggling pepper plant and wondered why it's not giving you the abundance you see in the magazines, let me tell you right now, this is where your backyard transformation begins. I know exactly how it feels to put in the work, to buy the soil, to water every day, and still end up with nothing but a few tiny, shriveled peppers that aren't even enough for a single salad. But today, we are drawing a line in the sand. We are moving from being a struggling gardener to becoming a true backyard hero. Welcome to the ultimate vision of what your life is about to look like. Imagine waking up on a Saturday morning, walking out to your backyard with a basket in your hand, and seeing branches heavy with fruit. Red, yellow, orange, and green vibrant, organic peppers that are crisper and more flavorful than anything you could ever find at a high-end grocery store. Imagine the feeling of never having to put peppers on your shopping list again because you've reached the level of a pound per week harvest. This isn't a dream. It is the next level of your gardening journey, and I am here to coach you through every single step to get there. You see, most people treat their garden like a hobby, but we are going to treat it like a transformation. We aren't just planting seeds. We are building a system of abundance. When I started, I was exactly where you are. I would buy the most expensive seedlings, put them in the ground, and hope for the best. I was planting and praying, and my results showed it. I'd get maybe 3 peppers a season if I was lucky. I felt like I didn't have a green thumb. But here is the secret I discovered. There is no such thing as a green thumb. There is only a proven process and the right mindset. Let's talk about your point of departure. To reach the pound-a-week milestone, we have to start with the right foundation. In the world of peppers, which we botanically classify mostly under the Capsicum annuum species, variety is your first major decision. If you want a pound a week, you can't just plant one random bell pepper and expect it to do all the heavy lifting. We are going to look at a mix of high-production varieties. Think about banana peppers, shishitos, or high-yield gypsy peppers. These are the workhorses of the garden. They produce early, they produce often, and they fill that basket fast. Now, I want you to take a second and visualize your garden 30 days from now. The soil is rich, the leaves are dark green and glossy, and you are starting to see those first white blossoms. That is your week 4 win. Every journey is made of these small milestones. We aren't going to worry about the whole season today. We are just going to focus on this first level of transformation, setting the stage for high production. One thing I have to tell you right now, as your coach, if in doubt about a plant's health or variety, especially with peppers, which can sometimes look similar to ornamental, non-edible varieties, don't consume it and check with a reliable local source. Safety is part of being a pro. We are going to move through this together. I'm right here with you. I've made all the mistakes, so you don't have to. I've dealt with the blossom end rot, I've dealt with the aphids, and I've dealt with the heartbreak of a plant dying overnight. But because I went through that, I can now show you the shortcut to that pound-a-week harvest. This is your turning point. Your garden is about to change forever, and by the end of this journey, you'll be the one sharing your extra harvest with your neighbors because you'll have more than you can handle. Are you ready to stop being a spectator and start being the hero of your own backyard? Let's take this first big step. We've identified the vision, we've picked our high-yield varieties, and we've committed to the process. You've just completed the first level of your backyard transformation. But the vision is only the beginning. To actually get those heavy branches, we need to talk about the moment everything changed for me, the aha moment that took my harvest from pathetic to prolific. Welcome back to the second stage of your transformation journey. I want you to take a deep breath and realize something important. You are already ahead of 90% of people who try to grow their own food. Why? Because you've committed to a system, not just a seed. But before we get to that pound-a-week harvest, I need to take you back to my own ground zero. I call this the moment of the turn, and it's the most vital part of your backyard hero story. About 8 months ago, I was standing exactly where many of you are right now. I had 6 pepper plants in the ground: bell peppers, jalapenos, and some habaneros. I had spent hours weeding, I had spent a small fortune on premium potting mix, and I was watering them like they were my own children. But every time I looked at them, I felt a knot in my stomach. The leaves were a pale, sickly yellow. The few flowers that did appear would just drop off and die before even starting a fruit. I felt like a failure. I actually told my wife, maybe I'm just not meant to be a gardener. Maybe I should just stick to the grocery store. That was my struggling gardener phase. I was frustrated, I was losing money, and I was about to give up. But then, something changed. I stopped looking at the plant, and I started looking at what the plant was living in. I realized that if I wanted a next-level harvest, I couldn't use average methods. This was my turning point. I discovered that peppers are essentially like elite athletes. They need the right fuel and the right track to run on. I realized I was trying to run a marathon in flip-flops. This is the moment your transformation truly accelerates. We are moving away from the "it's just dirt" mentality. Dirt is what you find under your fingernails. Soil is a living, breathing ecosystem that supports your legacy. The turn happened for me when I stopped focusing on the top of the plant and started obsessing over the root zone. Let's talk about your level 2 practical setup. This is the soil secret that took me from 0 to a pound a week. Peppers crave 2 things above all else: drainage and heat. If their feet stay wet for too long, they suffocate. If the soil is compacted, they can't breathe. My transformation began when I started using the 50-30-30-20 rule. 50% high-quality compost, the fuel, 30% aeration material like perlite or coarse sand, the breathing room, and 20% native soil or peat moss, the anchor. When I mixed my first batch of this super soil and transplanted my struggling seedlings into it, I saw a change in just 7 days. That is your first mini payoff. Within a week, those yellow leaves turned a deep, rich forest green. That's the signal that your plant is finally leveling up. It's a feeling of pure victory. When you see that color change, you know you've moved from the struggle phase into the growth phase. I want you to think about the economy of this for a second. Think about those organic, triple-colored bell pepper packs you see at the store. In 2026, those are easily $6 or $7 a bag. If you're harvesting a pound a week, you are literally growing money in your backyard. Over a season, that's hundreds of dollars staying in your pocket instead of going into a corporate cash register. That is what I call real economy. We aren't just saving pennies, we are reclaiming our financial independence. As your coach, I'm telling you, don't let the small setbacks discourage you. If you see a leaf with a hole in it or a day where the plant looks a bit wilted in the afternoon sun, don't panic. That's just part of the journey. Every champion has to deal with a bit of resistance. What matters is that you have the right foundation now. You've moved past the "I hope this works" stage and into the "I know why this works" stage. One more thing to keep in mind on this journey: botanical accuracy is your best friend. While we're focusing on capsicum species, remember that growth rates vary. In general, your turning point to seeing actual fruit will typically take about 60 to 90 days from transplanting, depending on the variety and your local climate. It's a range, not a fixed date, so stay patient. You've just completed the transformation foundation. You've seen the vision, you've understood the variety, and you've fixed the soil. You are officially no longer a beginner. You are a gardener in training for backyard heroism. I am so proud of the progress you're making already. But we can't stop here. Having great soil is like having a great car, but if you don't know how to drive it through the rough terrain of the growing season, you won't reach the finish line. In the next part of our journey, we're going to look at why most people get stuck right after this stage. They get the plant growing, but they can't get it to produce that pound-a-week volume. We are going to identify the success killers, and I'm going to show you exactly how to bypass them. Your garden is about to level up again. We are officially entering level 3 of your backyard transformation journey. Take a look at your plants. They are growing, they are green, and the vision is becoming a reality. But this is the stage where most people lose their momentum. They think the hard work is over once the plant is in the ground. I used to be that person. I'd get my peppers to about 6 inches tall, see a couple of flowers, and think, I've made it. But then, the plants would just stop. They'd hit a plateau. That struggling gardener version of me didn't realize that consistency is the bridge between a lucky harvest and a legendary harvest. If you want that pound-a-week result, we have to talk about high-performance maintenance. This isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. We are moving from maintenance to mastery. Think of this as the mid-season tune-up for your backyard engine. By the end of this stage, you'll know exactly how to keep your plants in a state of perpetual production. Let's dive into your first level 3 master move, the sacrifice for abundance. This is a hard one for beginners, but it's what separates the heroes from the hobbyists. When your pepper plant is young and it produces that very first flower, right in the Y of the main stem, I want you to pinch it off. I know, it feels wrong. You've waited weeks for that flower, but by removing that first king bloom, you are telling the plant, don't put your energy into one tiny pepper yet. Put your energy into growing a massive, strong frame. This is your month 1 win. By sacrificing that one early pepper, you are triggering the plant to double its size and branching. More branches mean more flowers, and more flowers mean that pound-a-week goal becomes an easy reality in just a few more weeks. This is a classic mini payoff, a small loss today for a massive victory tomorrow. Now, let's talk about the invisible part of your journey, hydration consistency. Peppers are sensitive. If you let the soil get bone dry and then drown it with water, the plant gets stressed. That stress leads to blossom end rot or dropped flowers. My transformation reached its peak when I started using the 2-inch test. Every morning, stick your finger 2 inches into the soil. If it feels dry at the tip of your finger, it's time to hydrate. If it's still moist, walk away. To level up this process even further, we're going to talk about the mulch shield. I want you to cover the base of your plants with a thick layer of straw, dried grass clippings, or wood chips. This isn't just for looks. This shield keeps the soil temperature stable and prevents moisture from evaporating. It's like giving your plants a climate-controlled home. When I started mulching, I reduced my watering time by 40%. That's time you get back to enjoy your garden rather than just laboring in it. This brings us to a deep theme in our journey: the power of the partner. You aren't just a boss to your plants, you are a partner. Your garden doesn't need a hero who shows up for 5 hours once a week. It needs a coach who shows up for 5 minutes every day. That daily check-in is where the magic happens. You'll spot the first sign of a pest. You'll notice a nutrient deficiency before it becomes a crisis, and you'll build a connection to your food that most people in the modern world have completely lost. And let's look at the real economy of this stage. At this point in the journey, many people run back to the store to buy bloom booster chemicals. Stop right there. Your transformation into a backyard hero means using what you already have. I want you to start the kitchen gold method. Take your vegetable scraps, eggshells, and coffee grounds and let them break down. Even a simple compost tea made from soaking high-quality compost in water for 24 hours can give your peppers a massive boost of organic nutrients for $0. Think about it, you are saving money on groceries, and now you are saving money on garden supplies. This is how you win the game of autosufficiencia. You are creating a closed-loop system where your kitchen feeds your garden, and your garden feeds your family. As your coach, I have to remind you of our safety check. While we are aiming for high yields, remember that environmental factors like extreme heat can affect how peppers look and taste. If in doubt about whether a pepper is ripe or safe to eat, especially if you've planted spicy and sweet varieties close together and are worried about cross-pollination affecting heat levels, don't consume it and check with a reliable local source. You have just leveled up your maintenance game. You've mastered the pinch, you've stabilized your hydration, and you've started your zero-cost nutrient cycle. You are standing on the threshold of your first big harvest. You've gone from hoping for a pepper to preparing for a pound. I am so proud of how far we've come together. But there's one final piece of the puzzle. How do we turn this success into a permanent lifestyle? How do we calculate the true impact of this transformation on your life and your wallet? In the final part of our journey, we are going to talk about the next level and how to ensure your backyard legacy continues year after year. You have arrived at the final stage of this level of your transformation journey. Look at how far we've come together. We started with the frustration of empty branches and yellow leaves, and now you are standing on the edge of a permanent harvest. You aren't just a person with a plant anymore. You are a backyard hero with a sustainable system. This is the moment where we move from the how-to into the lifestyle. This is where your garden starts paying you back for every minute and every ounce of effort you've invested. Let's talk about the real economy of the backyard hero. In this year of 2026, we all know that the price of fresh, high-quality organic produce has reached levels we never imagined. When you walk into a store and see those artisan peppers for $7 or $8 a pound, I want you to smile. Because every week, you are printing that money in your own soil. If you follow the system we've built, the variety selection, the super soil, the sacrifice for abundance, and the mulch shield, a pound a week isn't just possible. It's expected. Over a full growing season, you are looking at hundreds of dollars in direct savings. But the real economy isn't just the money. It's the health of your family and the security of knowing exactly what went into your food. No pesticides, no long-distance shipping, no plastic waste. That is true wealth. But how do we sustain this? How do we ensure this wasn't just a lucky season? To reach the next level, we need to master the harvesting cycle. Most people wait too long to pick their peppers. They want them to be perfect. But here is the secret of the plant's biology. A pepper plant has one goal: to produce seeds. Once a pepper stays on the branch too long, the plant thinks its job is done and it stops producing new flowers. To keep that pound-a-week momentum, you need to harvest frequently. As soon as a pepper reaches its full size and color, snip it off with clean shears. By removing the fruit, you are essentially resetting the plant's clock, forcing it to send out a new wave of blossoms. This is the perpetual harvest loop. It's a mini payoff you get every few days that keeps the energy high for both you and your plants. Now, as your coach, I want to give you a pro tip for your next level of transformation. Did you know that in their native tropical environments, peppers aren't annuals? They are actually short-lived perennials. In many parts of the world, if you protect them from the frost or bring them indoors during the winter, you can keep the same plant for 3, 4, or even 5 years. Imagine starting next spring not with a tiny seed, but with a mature, woody-stemmed pepper tree ready to explode with fruit. That is how you truly level up your backyard legacy. On this journey, we always keep safety at the forefront of our success. As you begin harvesting in high volumes, you might notice variations in fruit shape or heat levels, especially in 2026's shifting climate patterns. If in doubt about a specific harvest's safety or variety, don't consume it and check with a reliable local source. Being a pro means being informed. I want you to take a moment and feel the weight of that basket in your hands. Feel the crispness of the skin. Smell that fresh, peppery aroma that you can't get from a store-bought vegetable. This is your victory. You took a patch of earth and turned it into a high-performance production center. You've moved from struggling to thriving. You have completed this level of your backyard transformation, and I couldn't be more proud of the hero you've become. But a hero's journey never truly ends. Now that you've mastered the pepper, what's next? Is it tomatoes? Is it a full salad bar in your backyard? Whatever it is, you now have the mindset and the process to win. You've proven to yourself that you can change your reality through action and education. Before we wrap up this level, I have a challenge for you. Take 1 pound of your very best harvest this week and share it. Give it to a neighbor, a friend, or someone who is still struggling at the grocery store. Tell them, I grew this myself. Watch their face. That feeling of providing for others from your own land is the ultimate payoff. You've done the work. You've followed the steps. You've earned this harvest. Welcome to the life of a backyard hero. Your transformation is real, your garden is leveled up, and your future is full of flavor. I'll see you at the next level of your journey. Drop a comment below and let me know, what was your biggest aha moment on this pepper journey? I want to hear about your wins.